Hello guys, welcome. This is Linux for Python developers tutorial. In the previous tutorial, I have showed you about working with directories and also some basic commands. Today, I'm gonna show you how you can work with files. So files are case sensitive in Linux. Linux is case sensitive. This means that, for example, if you have file one in capital letter and file one in small letter, they are different. They are they have the same name, but they are different. So that's why Linux is a case sensitive. So as you can see here in the screenshot, winter.txt, winter.txt, both are the same file, but they are different because the first file names all letters are in small letter, and the second file, the first letter is in capital. Okay, in Linux, everything is a file. When you plug in a flash disk on your computer or Linux system, that disk is a file, not a disk drive. So a directory is also a special kind of file, directory. Even a terminal window like this is a file which is located in the root directory dev. And your hard disk file is also stored in dev, SCDP or SCDA. So this is also represented somewhere in the file system as a file. So it will become clear throughout this course that everything on Linux is a file. So keep in mind that everything in Linux is a file. Every hardware, CPU, hard disk, flash disk, every hardware system also a file. That's why virus is not duplicated itself when it is connected to Linux system, because it is under it is a file when it is copied in the Linux system. Your editor does not care whether a file index in .txt or doc. So as a system administrator, you should use the file command to determine the file type. If you want to determine the file type of password, for example, which is located in etc, you can use the command file etc, then pass wd. So the type of the file, the password, which is located in the etc directory, that is ASCII type. So the file extension is not determining the file type, but you can determine the file type using file command. So this file command utility determines the file type. Linux does not use extension to determine the file type. It is interesting to point out that file with S extension, option is for special file like CPU information. For example, if you want to determine the file type of CPU information, that is proc found in CPU info. So this is MET. So if you want to determine this is a special file, so you can use S option before the file name. Sorry. The command name is not correct. Yeah, the file type right now is ASCII text with very long lines, that is 5 to 7. If you want to clear the screen, you can use clear command. Yes, it clears the screen and it begins with the first, like this. If you wanna, you can use arrows down and up. For example, up, just automatically copy the previously used commands. like this. If you arrow up, down to the very first or the very latest command is used, up like this. So the arrows are very useful to remember the commands you used earlier. Okay, now we can create a file. In the previous video tutorials, we have seen that we can create directories using mkdir. We can remove directories. In this tutorial, we are going to learn about creating files, deleting files, and copying files. Okay, we can use different ways. Actually, you can use graphical tools, but if you are working as a system administrator, you may not have the opportunity to get graphical user interface Linux distribution. So you should have to understand the commands, how you can create files. Touch. So touch is a command, very, very easy command to create file. For example, f1.txt. So it is created the file f1.txt. This file is for example, if you determine the file f1.txt, this is empty. It has no content in this file. You can also use nano. Nano is another command to create nano, then followed by, for example, f2.txt. You can write the text here. This is my first work. Then you can control X to save, then control Y to replace that. You can write the file name here. Actually, if you wanted to replace on the existing override, you can enter. Now you can determine the file to. That is ASCII text. ASCII text. So now we can also display the file contents using cat command. Cat is not a real cat, but it is a command name on Linux to display the contents of a file. Cat followed by file name, for example, the contents of f2. So this is my first work. It contains, if you determine cat f1, for example, it has no any content. So you can use cat. VI also, there is a VI very interesting command to create a file, but those are also very, very useful commands. So you can create, you can remove your files. If you wanna remove, for example, you have F1, F2, and other files. If you wanna remove F1, you can use rm command, then file name, followed by file name. Now you can check F1 is deleted. If you want to protect the file name from accidentally deleted, you can use the option -I, then for example, F2, file 2. Are you just sure to remove this file? Just remove regular files. If you press yes, it will remove. Now F2 is removed. Now the second file, because I wanna remove two files consecutively at this using one line of command. Yes. Now you can check if file 1 and file 2 is not available because deleted, remove. If you press no, it will not delete that file. So you can use the option I to make sure that you protect the file from accidentally deleted. Okay, The other is how can we create make dir and make dir d1 and make dir d2. You can watch previous tutorials about how you can work on directories. So now I have created the directories d1 and d2, and I wanna just change the directory to d1. Then I wanna create file into this directory nano f1.txt, and this is my first time working with files. Now I can save this. Now in this directory, I have created a file f1, and I wanna change to the previous directory. Now I wanna remove the directory rm dir using rm dir d1 failed to remove because the directory is not empty. You cannot remove the directory which is not empty using rm dir. You cannot also remove using rm. This is used to remove files rm d1. This is a directory, so you cannot remove using rm. Rm is used to remove files. So how can you remove all files, including the directory, the container of that files? So there is an option rf, very, very dangerous option. So you can be careful when you're removing files. You can use rf minus rf, then directory name. Now that directory, including the files in that directory, going to be deleted. There is no that directory d1. So this command is very dangerous command. You should be careful when removing files, especially if you are working as a system administrator. You should be careful these commands. Hackers use such kind of commands to remove files from your system remotely. Okay. Now I want to show you how you can copy files from source to destination. Let me create mkdir d1 again, and I want to create file into that directory d1 f1.txt. You can create without changing to that directory using separating by forward slash. Okay, this is my first work. Okay, let me save this file. Now this file d1 contains this one, and you can also check the content of that file using cat. This is my first work, all right? And I wanna copy, but let me check you d2. D2 doesn't contain any file, so I wanna copy the file from d1 to d2 using cp. Cp, the source is d1, and the file name that I wanna copy to the destination is f1.txt, and then a space, this destination directory, or to copy this file, d2. Now I can check d2. F1 is copy. I can also check d1. The file is available in both directories because copy is just keeping the original files in the source directory and copying the copy of that file into another directory or destination directory, target directory. So So you can also use -R option to copy complete directories. Use CP-R. If I want to copy, for example, D2 into D1, CP-R D2, then the source, the target directory is D1. Now I can check D1. Now D2 is copied into D1 using R option, CP. All right. The other, you can use -I option to protect overwriting. The other important is move. You can move your file from one place, or from source to target directory. So in this case, you can rename a file or to move the file to another directory. You can use this command, either rename the file or move the file to another directory. For example, let me create a file, another file, nano f2.txt. Okay, I have already this file, and I wanna just rename this file mv f2.txt to f3.txt. Now I can check. Now the file is renamed. So you can use this. And another way you can move that file, for example, F3 into D1. I can check this file. That file is moved to another directory. Let me check D1. Yes, this file is moved. So you can use MV, either rename a file or move the file to another directory. So it has two functions. So you can also use the rename command. This is an alternative way. Okay, so this is today's tutorial. So you can learn by watching these video tutorials and the previous video tutorials. You can keep all the commands practicing every day. And because if you want to remember all the commands, the basic commands, you can practice every day. You can install Linux distribution on your computer, on VirtualBox or Partition, and you can practice those commands every day and you can understand easily. Thanks for watching today.